Informal assessment. What is informal assessment? Well, it's a type of assessment that is routinely used within classrooms in any grade level. It can be used to determine mastery levels, where your instruction should go next for the individual student or the class as a whole, and it can be used in a more casual or more structured way depending on the specifics of why you're doing it. I know in kindergarten, at the end of every single day, I ask my kids, what stuck with you today? Right there is a quick informal assessment on what really grabbed their attention and made an aha moment for them, and what should I really touch upon tomorrow to better help their understanding. Throughout this course, we've learned about different ways to informally assess our students. Two ways that I would like to focus on right away are portfolio and work samples. Seesaw is an excellent tool to use for informally assessing your students. It's a personalized learning journal or portfolio with unlimited assessment opportunities. As you can see from the screen, math and language arts can be assessed using Seesaw. You may assess science, social studies, social emotional feedback. Really, it's limitless in what you can do. The great thing about Seesaw is also that there is assisted technology built right into it. If you look at the screen, it gives students the choice on how they would like to upload their knowledge or complete a task. So for example, I could give them that sight word check. They can decide, should they do photographs? Should they do drawings of the sight words? Should they video record themselves? Do they want to upload something, take some notes, maybe embed a link? Definite huge advantages with using Seesaw. Student choice, it's digital, and it can be archived and kept forever. Some disadvantages would be that the internet is required and it's not actually a tangible portfolio right in front of you. Yes, the kids take home what they do and parents have access to it, but it's not a portfolio in the sense that it's a binder or something like that. It's more of a digital portfolio. Another great informal assessment is the use of checklists. If you look at the screen here, this would be a checklist for a specific guided reading group that I meet with. It's an organized list of expected behaviors for individual reading levels. As you can see, this checklist is for a level B reader. In kindergarten, you have kids who are at a pre-A where they're not reading books yet, where their checklist would look totally different and focus more on phonemes and letter recognition. And you can go all the way up to C's and D's, E's and F's, where they're focusing more on comprehension and extending their thinking. EdTech for checklists would be Google Docs. Advantage would be it's a great way to organize each student. You can share with them. You can share it with the school team, the families, cooperating teachers that they might have, so that there's really more of a trail of their learning and understanding. Some disadvantages would be having to have the device with you for the duration of the lesson. So for example, I work at a horseshoe table with my students, and we don't really have room for a bulky laptop to be on the table. So that is one big disadvantage with kindergarten. Also, adding individual checklist remarks to the Google Doc can be very time consuming. Another example of an informal assessment would be running records, and as well, this works hand in hand with those checklists because it's a detailed reading behavior and it allows you to see reading growth. So you are still, in a sense, completing a checklist, but more of in a running record way. Our school uses Fontes and Pinnell, and as you can see on the screen, this is an example of a running record for Fontes and Pinnell. It's a level A, and as you can see, it goes through fluency, accuracy, comprehension, and extending thinking. EdTech for this would be Google Docs, iPad, and Apple Pencil. The photo shows you what an Apple Pencil is. It's kind of like a stylus, but it gives you different options. Advantages allow it to be easy recording through use of the Apple Pencil and ability to save and share digitally. So what I do is I take that running record, I take a photo of it, create a PDF. It's on my iPad. I can airdrop it wherever I need to. And instead of using a pen, I can just use the Apple Pencil instead. The disadvantage would definitely be the cost of the Apple Pencil. It can be very pricey. The biggest one in kindergarten would definitely be observation as a way to informally assess students. This is when the teacher is watching the student closely for behaviors, general and or specific. It's really up to you what you want to be looking at that day, and you need to take those behaviors and document them. EdTech would be Seesaw and Google Docs. Again, advantages are individual observation notes with real life examples in their portfolio. So if you're telling a parent something specific, you can say, oh, let me bring up the Seesaw journal for you to see it. Some disadvantages, the families would need a smart device and internet access needed for them to locate those observations. There's definitely a time and place for informal and formal assessments. Definitely in kindergarten, informal assessments is the way you want to go. It's inclusive of the learner and it really makes you focus on the learner as an individual.